What's up, summoners? King Blitter here. Today, we're going to be talking about the difference between immunity and effect resistance, and we're going to see which of the two is better, if they're both good, when should you use each of them, and what I think overall in the future, which one's going to be better as the game progresses. So first, let's just begin with talking about immunity. So if you guys don't know, immunity is a type of set that you can get on your units. So my Destina would be a pretty good example. It's this set right here that you see. And basically what it means is when you start the game, you get immunity. There are some other characters that provide immunity, such as Crimson Armin and the new, sorry, the new Basar, the ML Basar, which clears debuffs. So I got two of them, which I wasn't super happy about, but it's fine. Let me go through it. He's right here. So he's another one that applies immunity, and this is more skill-based. The one we're going to be talking more about today is not going to be the one that's skill-based. It's more of the one that's, like, for example, the set one. So as far as rule or immunity, the biggest plus of immunity is you're basically guaranteed that first turn. So starting the game with immunity is super duper important, especially when you're going against a lot of these recent teams, especially a Dizzy, because Dizzy, as you guys know, if you get hit by that third skill debuffs, you're basically going to lose the fight. You're not going to get another chance, and you're going to pretty much lose. So looking just at immunity, it's one of the strongest going first tools that you have at your disposal. But this doesn't mean that you should slap it on every single unit. So let me just go through one of my arena teams that I use, and we'll take an example of one of the teams. So if we looked at this team that you see here, it's the one I fought, which was the third team. So the one that has the Dizzy, the Seaside Bellona, the Maid Chloe, and the Lilius. If you go against this team, and let's say that Dizzy's like a 240 speed Dizzy, and the rest is like kind of on the slower side. If you go in with your team and she outspeeds you, she does a third debuff, you lose. But do you have to put immunity on all your units? And the answer is no. So one of my favorite going second teams is this team right here. And the only unit in this team that actually needs immunity is Destina, because she's the one that's able to clear all the debuffs and is able to set up the team for success. So things like Violet and Assassin Cartuja, while it is nice to have the immunity set on them, especially if you're going to use them without a Destina, it's not necessary for them, even though they are self-sustaining units. Because whenever you're building a team, if you have one unit who can clear all of the debuffs, that's the only unit that you care that doesn't get stunned or doesn't get debuffed. As far as negatives for immunity, one, yes, after that first turn, if you don't make an impact with it, it has no more impact in the whole rest of the fight. You ought to use your one turn immunity if you can't beat them before like the Dizzy gets an extra turn and another third skill, or before any of the other units, like for example Moonlight Manthia, if her third skill comes back up, or if you're faster than them and you mess up and maybe you go before them and you're not able to kill all the units, your immunity is going to be gone and you're just going to lose the fight. So that is the downside to immunity. So typically, where would you use it? Whenever you have a unit that can clear debuffs, they should be in immunity, or whenever you have a priority unit. There's one case where an attacker should have it, and that would be whenever you have, if you have a Judge Kise, for the ones that have a Judge Kise, who may not be aware. So if we go to the Hero Journal for the people that know about Kise, she's one of the units that if you're trying to climb, I only know this because my brother, who's really high up in Arena, he's a tier above me, a whole tier above me. I don't know what the name is off the top of my head. But he uses a Judge Kise cleave, and it's one of the most successful ones. And Judge Kise needs immunity. Because if you go against MLCC and you use the second skill Soulburn, the immunity will stay if you get counterattacked. So if Moonlight CC counterattacks you, she won't provoke your Judge Kise, which means you're able to use your third skill right after getting hit, because the immunity does linger even after counterattacks. So that's the one attacker that I can probably tell you right now. It's the only cleave unit that actually needs immunity, because all the other ones are kind of one and done. Once you use your skill, it's done. Some other units would be Seaside Bellona, because a lot of people try to focus Seaside Bellona. She'd be someone that could also use immunity, but not ideal. Better just pair up with someone that can clear it, such as like a Lilius. But alright. Now, on the other hand, let's talk about effect resistance. So effect resistance, on the other hand, is the more versatile of the two options, but it's the harder of the two options to get. So effect resistance, for the people that may not know, it's this power right here next to effectiveness, effect resistance. This effect resistance can go up to, I believe, 250% or 200%. I can't remember exactly, but it can go above 100% effect resistance. And it basically, whenever you get hit by a move that would debuff, it first checks to see if it's 100% move that's 100% will land. It'll check effect resistance, and then it'll check it against their effectiveness. And then depending on what comes out to be, like when you subtract, this is a really weird equation they put on. Pretty crazy equation. It's not as simple, but basically just know effect resistance, the higher the better. But they will always have about a 15% chance to land their debuff. Even if you have the max effect resistance, they will always have a chance to land their debuff. So that's one of the things that, right off the bat, kind of a negative for effect resistance, because even though you can have it maxed out, you're still going to get debuffed every once in a while, and most people have ways around it. So who is it good for? So this is better for units like, of course, this is going to be a no-brainer, but I do have to talk about her, Montmorancy. She's one of the units that really benefits from effect resistance, not only because she needs it to use her skills properly, but also because you don't want her getting stunned, especially if she's the one that's going to clear your debuffs over time. Think of like one of the raid bosses who are always putting up debuffs to where immunity is not that strong, because you can't have immunity 24/7. There's no unit that can loop immunity right now. So you need someone like Angelic Montmorancy that can clear debuffs, but you can't have her getting stunned. So she's one of those units that you want to have the most effect resistance you can, because she's the one that's going to make sure your team is able to take their turns. She's going to be the one consistently taking off your debuffs. Another two units that are kind of must-have high effect resistance are going to be Crow and Dark Corvus, and regular Corvus also, because they're units that take a lot of hits and have one special move that they have to get off for them to be really strong. So in the case of Dark Corvus, people are going to try to poison him, stun him, defense break him, do everything against him. And you need to find a way for your Dark Corvus to not take these debuffs, so he can set up, use his third skill, and kill an opponent, and then just heal and set up for the next one. So he needs long time for extended periods of time. On the other hand, for Crow, on a similar note, he takes a lot, he takes a lot of hits. Not one of the units that he's one of the units that's like, if he gets stunned, it's in a really bad situation because his third skill won't be able to pop off. If you have the effect resistance and over time they can't stun you because they keep missing because your effect resistance is so high, you'll be able to more consistently get this third skill off. So as far as benefits of effect resistance, is really good for extended fights. So whenever you have a fight that's going to take more than one turn, that you need long setup time, that you need to be able to go consistently through the fight and not get debuffed, or you need someone that's consistently giving you heals, especially for PvE, effect resistance is the superior one. There's also the added benefit that you can also dodge a lot of the initial ones. So for the units like Destina, if you have immunity and effect resistance, then it makes it almost impossible for them to stop your clearing the debuffs. And that's one of the best scenarios, but it's really hard to get that stat-wise. So now we get to the conclusion. Which is better, effect resistance or immunity? So as a whole, Epic 7 is more of a slower game. A lot of the times, fights don't end in that first turn. There's very few times where it'll actually end on the first turn. And there's a lot of really tanky units like Moonlight Cecilia, for example, and Crimson Armin. And having effect resistance, it's really good for the long game. There's a reason why they call it effect resistance meta, because it's that good. If you can't land debuffs on really tanky units, they're just going to outlast you, they're going to out-heal you, and you're going to lose. At the same time, though, we are moving towards a point where they're starting to introduce more units that don't check effect resistance if you meet certain conditions. Those units would be like Basar. So Basar, if you soulburn his third skill it ignores effect resistance and will land debuffs. There's other units like this that I can't think of the top of my head, but the other unit that's also going to have this soon is going to be the Assassin Sid, who doesn't even care about effect resistance. So it's starting to become something that's not going to be as powerful as it was in the past. Effect resistance meta is slowly fading away, and I believe in the near future, what we're going to start seeing is immunity. So we're going to start seeing units like Lilius, Destina, the new Basar, the new ML Basar, because they are able to, you just put them that one will set, and they can do so much from there. Because they're able to resist what they need to. Your team doesn't have to have immunity or effect resistance, and they're just able to clear the buff. Same with Montmorancy. If you put immunity and a little bit of effect resistance, she's going to be super broke. So in all, as of right now, effect resistance is the stronger of the two, but immunity is still, it just comes down to what you need for that team. So if you're using a cleave team, immunity is going to be your best friend. Have someone that can clear your debuffs, and then you can do your cleave. If you're gonna be using tank teams, effect resistance is your friend. You don't want to get hit by these dizzies or the seaside Bellonas and just get absolutely murked. And you still are gonna need people that can clear debuffs, such as Montmorancy, who are able to clear debuffs and heal and sustain you, and they need really high effect resistance. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.